a mental health advocate, and she has been down a long road of recovery, retitled The Power in You. Mira Magdalena.
You are powerful beings. As you've heard tonight about all these conversations about power, I want you to know that each and every one of you has the power within you to heal, to move forward in your life, and to live the life you truly want to live. Now, if you can, Randy, June happens to be PTSD Awareness Month. And this Thursday happens to be PTSD Awareness Day. So some facts for you. 1 in 11 of us will end up with symptoms of PTSD in our lifetime. Women have twice as likely to have PTSD. And in the United States, it disproportionately affects US Latinos, African Americans, and those of Native American descent. I'm speaking to you today about PTSD because I was given this diagnosis. And I'd like to tell you my story of recovery and finding my power again. So what are some symptoms of PTSD? First of all, there's avoidance. You don't want to face all of this pain you're going through. For me, I would open up my closet and see all this beautiful workwear that I would have and immediately be launched into a panic attack. Then there becomes a change in behavior, a change in the way you think. So I would open up my laptop, and instead of feeling powerful and accomplished and capable, I would get so angry and frustrated that I would throw it across the room. And then you have behaviors where you start to avoid things. You change who you are. And instead of being this bright, sparkly, confident, powerful woman, I became a shell of myself, isolating in a room, afraid to speak my truth, afraid to open my mouth because all that would come out is tears and pain. And then triggering happens and you're in the middle of Publix and you can't go anywhere because Irma is coming and everyone around you is panicking and you have no idea what to do. So you sit down on the ground and you cry. Living with PTSD is not easy. It's also not as dramatized as they like to make it in the movies. And so I point out these symptoms because a movie is what actually helped me recognize my symptoms. You guys ever see American Sniper? Yeah, powerful, powerful movie. And as I'm sitting there in the movie theater with my kids and my family around me, I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I understand. I understand what's wrong with me right now. I understand that I have survived a trauma. And it's okay. It's okay to feel this way. It's okay to feel anger and shame and guilt. It's okay to feel like the world is collapsing in on me. It's okay to want to run and hide because I've been through something. And then I stopped to think about it and I thought, we all have, haven't we? I don't know a single person ever who I've ever met anywhere around the world who has not been through something. But yet somehow or another, we keep showing up and we keep reclaiming who we are and we keep taking that power back. And so I'd like to tell you the few things that I've learned about power. The first one is our power of choice. You've heard it on this stage tonight. We choose to be happy. When I recognized that I had that choice, that I could choose to face my fears, to face my anger, to face my pain, and I could choose to do it any way I wanted to, I started to make some really interesting choices in my life. So I went from a pretty straight edge person. I was a contracting officer in the US Army, straight as a rod, did everything by the book because I was the book. I was the definition of red tape. I was such a control freak that basically I walked straight as a board and you couldn't do anything else about it. And I realized that had to change. I had to change. I couldn't live a life in this box anymore. So I made the choices that the new person of me wanted to become. I didn't want to be stuck at home being this average soccer mom. I wanted to heal. I wanted to move forward. So I made a choice to stop listening to my doctors and to go travel somewhere and try something different. And I found myself in the middle of Central America about to do something crazy. Psychedelics. Yeah, I mean, we laugh at it now, but considering my background where marijuana was an absolute no, the step into psychedelics was something beyond my comfort zone that I had ever thought I was going to do. And so for me, I was scared. I was petrified, actually. I was calling my list of friends and family going, please talk me out of this craziness. I have literally left the reservation. I need some help. And I'll tell you, about 90% of the people who I called didn't judge me, actually. They said, you know what? I know you've been through a lot. I've seen your pain and I've seen your suffering. And if this is what you feel you need to do to get better, go forth and do. And then about 10% of the people I called went, you're absolutely freaking bonkers. I want nothing to do with you anymore. And that hurt. So that brings me to the next step in claiming my power back, the power to love yourself. Accept yourself as you are. Because I realized it didn't really matter what these people thought of me anymore. My real friends, those 90% who went, I don't get it, but you're hurting and you're in pain and I want you to feel better. Those people didn't need to completely understand me, but they accepted my choice. And the 10% of people who were like, nah, I want nothing to do with you, I blessed them and sent them on their way because I knew this was something I had to do for me. And so I did it. And that is a whole nother speech. Let me just leave it at that. Psychedelics are not something that I am going to recommend for everybody. It is a personal choice, that one that you need to sit with, and one that you need to make personal decisions on, talk to your family about. But for me, it was the difference between night and day. It gave me the space to sit with myself in silence and go, wow, things really can be different. I can be different. I can heal these things. And that brought me to my third and final point when it comes to this journey of taking your power back. And that's to share the story. Because every time I speak about this and every time I share my experience and every time I meet someone with PTSD and I say, there is another way, if you're willing to open your mind, make a choice, and stand up for yourself and believe in yourself, you too could possibly find healing. And so I urge you all to take a look within yourself and remind yourself that you have this power within you because you are powerful beings.